Hello guys, welcome again. Myself MD Tariq Anwar. I am working as an assistant professor in Mechanical Engineering Department at St. Andrews Institute of Technology and Management, Gurugram. Today I am going to discuss that is the subject Mechanical Machine Design 2, and the topic of today's lecture is design of shaft on the basis of bending moment only, bending moment and twisting moment simultaneously acting on a shaft, and design of shaft on the basis of rigidity, and the design of shaft when the shaft is subjected to axial load along with all, that is bending moment and twisting moment. Clear? So first of all we will discuss that is design of shaft on the basis of bending moment, or you can say shaft is subjected to bending moment only. When the shaft is subjected to a bending moment, then the maximum stress, tensile or compressive, bending stress may be tensile, may be compressive, is given by the bending equation, that is we know that already studied in strength of material, that is m upon I is equal to sigma y upon y, sigma b upon y, sorry. So I'll explain each and every term, that is where m is the bending moment, m upon I sigma b upon y, this is the equation. M is the bending moment, I is the moment of inertia of cross-sectional area of the shaft about the axis of rotation, sigma b, bending stress, may be tensile, may be compressive, y is the distance from neutral axis to the outermost fiber. Clear? We know that for a round solid shaft, moment of inertia is given as I is equal to pi upon 64 into d raised to 4, and y value is given as d by 2. So substituting these values in equation number 1, we have m upon I का वैल्यू पुट करेंगे यहाँ पे पाई अपॉन 64 डी रेस टू 4 इज इक्वल टू सिग्मा बी अपॉन वाई का वैल्यू दैट इज डी बाई 2. सो विल गेट एज m इज इक्वल टू पाई अपॉन 32 सिग्मा बी इंटू डी रेस टू क्यूब, और यू कैन से डी रेस टू 3 और डी रेस टू क्यूब डी क्यूब. So m value you will get as pi upon 32 into sigma b into d cube. From this equation, diameter of the solid shaft d may be obtained. Clear? By using this formula, you can find out diameter d of the shaft, and sigma b and m is known to you. We also know that for a hollow shaft, moment of inertia is given as I is equal to pi upon 64 in a square bracket d naught 4, or you can say d outside 4 minus d inner diameter and outer diameter. Notation is do and di. So directly I am written, or I am telling, that is d naught 4 minus di raised to 4. So also we can write pi upon 64 d naught 4 in the bracket 1 minus k raised to 4, where the k value is di upon do. This is the relation. So when do is taken out or taken as a common term, inside we will get as 1 minus k raised to 4, and y value is d naught by 2, because outer diameter, outer fiber से हमको distance लेना है. So y value will be d naught by 2. So again substituting these values in equation 1 we have, so no need to explain again and again. We will get final as m is equal to pi upon 32 into sigma b into do cube into in the bracket 1 minus k raised to 4. So from this equation, the outside diameter of shaft, that is d naught or do, outer diameter of shaft, may be obtained. When you will get the value of do, you can easily find di value. Clear? Now when the shaft subjected to combined bending and twisting moment, फर्स्ट केस क्या था, ओनली बेंडिंग मोमेंट, इसमें क्या हो रहा है, कंबाइंड बेंडिंग एंड ट्विस्टिंग मोमेंट. द शाफ्ट इज सब्जेक्टेड टू कंबाइंड ट्विस्टिंग मोमेंट एंड बेंडिंग मोमेंट, देन द शाफ्ट मस्ट बी डिजाइंड ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ टू मोमेंट्स साइमल्टेनियसली. जब शाफ्ट को हम दो मोमेंट्स एक्ट कर रहा है, बेंडिंग मोमेंट भी एक्ट कर रहा है एंड ट्विस्टिंग मोमेंट भी एक्ट कर रहा है, देन हमको इसके हिसाब से अकॉर्डिंगली डिज़ाइन करना पड़ा. Various theories have been suggested to account for the elastic failure of materials when they are subjected to various types of combined stresses. There are two stresses are occurring on the shaft. The following two theories are important from the subject point of view. There are five theories, but subject point of view के हिसाब से सिर्फ दो theory is more important. So first one is maximum shear stress theory, or you can say MSST, or Guest theory. It is used for ductile materials such as mild steel. And second theory is maximum normal stress theory, or Rankine's theory. It is used for brittle material such as cast iron. There are two theories I have noted down here. First one is maximum shear stress theory, and second one is maximum normal stress theory, or Rankine's theory. So tau is the shear stress induced due to twisting moment. Tau क्या है? Shear stress induced due to twisting moment of the shaft. And sigma b is nothing but bending stress, tensile or compressive, already explained, induced due to bending moment. So according to maximum shear stress theory, the maximum shear stress in the shaft is given as tau max is equal to half under root sigma b square plus 4 tau square. So after putting the value in this equation, we will get half under root 32 m upon pi d cube का whole cube plus 4 and tau का value 16t upon pi d cube का whole square. After simplifying, we will get as 16 upon pi d cube in a square bracket under root m square plus t square, square bracket closed. So finally we can write pi upon 16 tau max into d cube is equal to under root m square plus t square. The expression under root capital M square plus capital T square is known as equivalent twisting moment and is denoted by TE. E is in the suffix, that is equivalent twisting moment. The equivalent twisting moment may be defined as that twisting moment which, when acting alone, produces the same shear stress tau as the actual twisting moment. By limiting the maximum shear stress tau max equal to allowable shear stress tau for the material, the equation 1 may be written as TE, or equivalent twisting moment, is equal to under root capital M square plus capital T square, or is equal to pi upon 16 tau into d cube. tau max को क्या किया मैंने, tau से चेंज कर दिया. क्लियर? So we will get the equation number 2. From this expression, diameter of the shaft D may be evaluated. इस इक्वेशन में हम क्या कर सकते हैं, diameter of the shaft कैलकुलेट कर सकते हैं. Now, according to maximum normal stress theory, the formula of this theory, the maximum normal stress is in the shaft is given as sigma b max. फर्स्ट केस में क्या था, tau max. इसमें क्या है, sigma b max is equal to half sigma b plus half under root sigma b square plus 4 tau square. So putting the value here again, sigma b का वैल्यू कहाँ से आया, टॉप ऑफ द इक्वेशन, फर्स्ट इक्वेशन, हाफ इंटू 32m अपॉन पाई डी क्यूब प्लस हाफ अंडर रूट 32m अपॉन पाई डी क्यूब का होल स्क्वायर प्लस 4 टॉ का वैल्यू 16t अपॉन पाई डी क्यूब का स्क्वायर. क्लियर? सो after arranging the term, you will get as 32 upon pi d cube in the square bracket, or square bracket start half in the bracket m plus under root m square plus t square bracket close, and after that square bracket closed. So 32 upon pi d cube taken as a common term. So we can write pi upon 32 sigma b max into d cube is equal to half in the bracket or square bracket m plus under root m square plus t square, square bracket close. This is known as equation number 4. The expression half in the bracket m plus under root m square plus t square is known as equivalent bending moment and is denoted by me. E is in the suffix, that is equivalent bending moment. M, capital M, small e. The equivalent bending moment may be defined as that moment which, when acting alone, produces the same tensile or compressive stress sigma b as the actual bending moment by limiting the maximum normal stress sigma b max equal to allowable bending stress, that is sigma b. Sigma b max को हम क्या चेंज कर रहे हैं, sigma b. Then the final equation 4 may be written as me half in the bracket m plus under root m square plus t square bracket close is equal to pi upon 32 sigma b into d cube. फर्स्ट केस में क्या था, सिग्मा बी मैक्स था, इसमें क्या है, सिग्मा बी ओनली आफ्टर रिप्लेसिंग. सो दिस इक्वेशन इज given a name as equation number 5. From this expression, diameter of the shaft d may be evaluated. Notes: in case of hollow shaft, the equation 2 and 5 may be written as te is equal to under root m square plus t square is equal to pi upon 16 tau do cube in the bracket 1 minus k raised to 4. Remember the relation already explained in the initial. Clear? So similarly, me is given as half in the bracket m plus under root m square plus t square is equal to pi upon 32 sigma b d or cube d naught cube into 1 by k raised to 4. In case of hollow shaft, क्या कर रहे हैं हम, hollow shaft में all terms are same but 1 minus k raised to 4 का टर्म आ जाएगा. क्लियर? और डी ओ का टर्म आ जाएगा, उसमें डायरेक्टली क्या था, डी क्यूब था. क्लियर? Now we will discuss another topic in this video lecture series, when the shaft subjected to fluctuating loads. Initially क्या बेंडिंग मोमेंट एक्ट कर रहा था, ट्विस्टिंग मोमेंट एक्ट कर रहा था, बेंडिंग मोमेंट एंड ट्विस्टिंग मोमेंट साइमल्टेनियसली एक्ट कर रहा था ऑन शाफ्ट पे, बट फ्लक्चुएटिंग लोड्स को कंसिडर नहीं किया था. नाउ वी आर गोइंग टू कंसिडर shaft subjected to fluctuating loads. In the previous articles, we have assumed that the shaft is subjected to constant torque and bending moment, but in actual practice, the shafts are subjected to fluctuating torque and bending moments. In order to design such shafts like line shafts and counter shaft, the combined shock and fatigue factors must be taken into account. Combined shock and combined fatigue factor must be taken into account for the computed twisting moment T and bending moment M. Thus, for a shaft subjected to combined bending and torsion, the equivalent twisting moment is given as, see this diagram, see this equation, that is TE is equal to under root K M, M small m, that is K small m suffix में into M square plus KT plus into T. There is some mistake here, not a plus sign, a multiplication sign. So you can change this KT into T whole square, and equivalent bending moment is given as ME half, means that M को KM से मल्टीप्लाई करना है, T को KT से मल्टीप्लाई करना है. Nothing is new. Clear? So you can write ME is equal to half square bracket start km into m plus under root km into m whole square plus kt into t whole square, where km is the combined shock and fatigue factor for bending. km क्या है, combined shock and fatigue factor for bending fluctuating loads के कंडीशन में. kt क्या है, combined shock and fatigue factor for torsion. Now we will discuss another part in this video lecture series. I am covering different types of topic in this lecture. This lecture is very, very important and very, very useful for you for solving the problem. You can solve any type of problems by using these equations which I have already derived in this video lecture series. So shaft subjected to axial load in addition to combined torsion and bending loads. इस केस में क्या हो रहा है, शाफ्ट जो है एक्सियल लोड भी शाफ्ट पे एक्ट कर रहा है इन एडिशन टू कंबाइंड टॉर्जन एंड बेंडिंग लोड्स। फर्स्ट क्या था, ओनली बेंडिंग। सेकंड क्या था, बेंडिंग मोमेंट एंड ट्विस्टिंग मोमेंट, और यू कैन से ओनली ट्विस्टिंग। थर्ड क्या था, बेंडिंग मोमेंट एंड ट्विस्टिंग मोमेंट साइमल्टेनियसली। फोर्थ वन क्या था, यू कैन से fluctuating loads are also acting on the shaft. Fifth one क्या है, axial load is also acting. Clear? So when the shaft is subjected to an axial load F in addition to torsion and bending loads, as in propeller shaft of ships and shafts for driving worm gears, I have given two examples. प्रोपेलर शाफ्ट में क्या होता है, एक्सियल लोड लगता है। प्रोपेलर शाफ्ट कहाँ, शिप के प्रोपेलर शाफ्ट एंड शाफ्ट फॉर ड्राइविंग वार्म गैस। देन द स्ट्रेस ड्यू टू एक्सियल लोड मस्ट बी एडेड टू द बेंडिंग स्ट्रेस सिग्मा बी। वी नो दैट द बेंडिंग इक्वेशन इज गिवन एज m upon I is equal to sigma b upon y, already studied in the initials, or you can say in the starting, or sigma b is equal to m into y upon I after arranging the term. So you can write m into y value is d by 2, I value is pi upon 64 d raised to 4. After simplification we will get 32 m upon pi d cube. That is the value of sigma b. And stress due to axial load, stress क्या होता है, sigma is given as force upon area. So in case of shaft ये क्या होगा, f upon area. Area of shaft is nothing but f upon pi upon 4 d raised to 4 d square, sorry. So it will be 4f upon pi d square for round solid shaft. Stress developed in round solid shaft is given as, so f is equal to pi by 4 do naught square minus di square in case of hollow shaft, or you can write 4f upon pi, same pi को क्या किया, शिफ्ट किया ऊपर में. So this is the basic formula, no need to explain again and again. So f value in case of hollow shaft, after taking or value putting k is equal to d1 upon do or di upon do. So f value is given as f upon pi, stress value in case of hollow shaft, f upon pi into do square minus 1 minus k square. So resultant stress tensile or compressive for solid shaft is given as sigma 1 is equal to 32 m plus pi d cube plus 4f upon pi d square. कब हो रहा है, जब दोनों को ऐड कर रहा है, बेंडिंग मोमेंट भी कंसिडर कर रहे हैं हम एंड एक्सियल लोड भी कंसिडर कर रहे हैं. समेशन हो जाएगा ये सिग्मा 1 कंसिडर, आई हैव गिवन ए नो में नेम एज सिग्मा 1 is equal to 32 m upon pi d cube in the bracket m plus f into d upon 8. So after you can simplify this term. So sigma 1 value is 32 m1 upon pi d cube. After substituting m plus f into d upon 8 is equal to m1. In case of hollow shaft, the resultant stress will be sigma 1 is equal to 32 m upon pi do cube in the bracket 1 minus k raised to 4 plus 4f on pi do square into 1 minus k square. So similarly, simplifying the term, you will get, and substituting the for hollow shaft, m1 value is m fd naught in the bracket 1 plus k square upon 8. So we will get final answer as after arranging the term. So in case of long shaft subjected to compressive loads, a factor is known as a column factor. You will get as already explained 32 m1 upon pi do cube. I have not read this part, I forgot. So sigma 1 value is say 32 m1 upon pi do cube in the bracket 1 minus k raised to 4 after substituting for hollow shaft, that is m1 value. Now In case of long shaft means बहुत लंबा shaft. Cylinder shaft subjected to compressive loads, a factor known as a column factor, which is denoted by alpha, must be introduced to take the column effect into account. For this type of column effect, stress due to compressive load is given as sigma c is equal to alpha into 4f upon pi d square for round solid shaft. So we can write alpha into 4f upon pi do square in bracket 1 minus k square for hollow shaft. यहाँ पे सिर्फ hollow shaft और solid shaft का difference है, nothing is new. So the value of column factor alpha for compressive loads may be obtained from the following relations. See this relation, remember this part. And if the data is available in data book, no need to remember. So column factor, that is alpha, is equal to 1 by 1 minus 0.0044 into L upon K. This expression used when the slenderness ratio L upon K is less than 115. When the slenderness ratio L upon K is more than 115, then the value of column factor may be obtained from the following relation. क्या मतलब, जब सिलेंडरनेस वैल्यू के लिए हम सिलेंडरनेस वैल्यू फाइंड आउट करेंगे, जब उसका वैल्यू 115 से कम होगा तो हम ये कॉलम फैक्टर अल्फ़ा का वैल्यू यूज़ करेंगे. अल्फ़ा इज इक्वल टू 1 अपॉन 1 माइनस 0.004 इंटू एल अपॉन के. बट अगर इससे ज़्यादा होगा तो बिलो रिलेशन विल बी यूज्ड. सो here column factor is calculated with the help of this formula. Alpha is equal to sigma y into L upon K का whole square upon C y square into E, where L is the length of the shaft between the bearings. There are two bearings considered. Shaft is mounted between two bearings. तो लेंथ कहाँ से कैलकुलेट करेंगे, दो बेयरिंग के बीच का डिस्टेंस, length of the shaft between the bearings. K is the least radius of gyration. Sigma y compressive yield point stress of shaft material. C is the coefficient in Euler's formula depending upon the end condition. End condition का मतलब क्या है, दोनों हाथ फिक्स्ड है, हिंज्ड है, वन फिक्स्ड है, वन हिंज्ड है, किस टाइप से शाफ्ट है उसके हिसाब से C का वैल्यू फाइंड आउट करेंगे. The following are the different values of C depending upon the end condition. C value is given in this slide. That is C is equal to 1 for hinged end, C is equal to 2.25 for fixed ends, C is equal to 1.6 for ends that are partly restrained as in bearing. Clear? So in general, for a hollow shaft subjected to fluctuating torsional and bending load along with an axial load, the equations for equivalent twisting moment TE and equivalent bending moment ME may be written as: TE is given as under root in the square bracket Km into M plus alpha F D naught in the bracket start 1 plus curly bracket, or you can say round bracket 1 plus K square upon 8 square bracket close का whole square. You can see, no need to explain one each part separately, plus KT into T का square. So finally you will get pi upon 60T pi do cube into 1 minus K raised to 4. Clear? And ME is equal to similarly half square bracket start Km into M plus alpha F do 1 plus K square upon 8 plus under root Km into M alpha plus KT into T d square. So see this equation. I am taking a little bit of pause so that you can read this equation. So finally pi upon 32 sigma b do q in the bracket 1 minus K raised to 4 for hollow shaft. Clear? So it may be noted for a solid shaft, K is equal to 0 and DO is equal to D. When the shaft carries no axial load, then F is equal to 0, and when the shaft carries axial tensile load, then alpha is equal to 1. Clear? Now we'll discuss design of the shaft on the basis of rigidity. First one is torsional rigidity. The torsional rigidity is important in case of camshaft of an IC engine where the timing of the valves would be affected. Clear? Rigidity क्या, कितना वो ट्विस्ट होने में रिजिड कर रहा है, on the basis of rigidity. This is known as rigidity. The permissible amount of twist should not exceed 0.25 degree per meter length of such shaft. क्योंकि वहाँ क्या वाल्व का ओपनिंग एंड क्लोजिंग डिपेंड कर रहा है, तो रिजिड रहना चाहिए शाफ्ट को. क्लियर? अंडरस्टूड? So the torsional rigidity is important in the case of camshaft of an IC engine, internal combustion, where the timing of the valves would be affected. अगर rigid नहीं रहेगा शाफ्ट तो क्या होगा, timing will be affected. The permissible amount of twist should not exceed 0.25 degree per meter length of such shaft. For line shaft or transmission shaft, deflection 2.5 to 3 degree per meter length may be used as limiting value. यहाँ पे valve timing नहीं है, सो यहाँ पे परमिसिबल है थोड़ा हल्का हल्का. द वाइडली यूज डिफ्लेक्शन फॉर द शाफ्ट इज लिमिटेड टू 1 degree in a length equal to 20 times the diameter of the shaft. Read this sentence again. 1 degree in a length equal to 20 times the diameter of the shaft. The torsional deflection be obtained by using the torsion equation. Clear? Torsional rigidity कैसे फाइंड आउट करेंगे? डिफ्लेक्शन may be obtained by using the torsion equation, already studied in the strength of material in second year. It is given as T upon J is equal to G theta upon L, or you can write theta is equal to TL upon JG or GJ. You can write anyway. So where theta is torsional deflection और एंगल ऑफ ट्विस्ट इन रेडियंस, कितना शाफ्ट ट्विस्ट कर रहा है, किस में आएगा, मेज़र करेंगे रेडियंस में. टॉर्सनल डिफ्लेक्शन और एंगल ऑफ ट्विस्ट, कितना एंगुलर ट्विस्ट हुआ है शाफ्ट में. इन केस ऑफ कैम शाफ्ट गिवन इन द स्टेटमेंट दैट इज इट विल बी 0.25 डिग्री पर मीटर लेंथ, और इन केस ऑफ लाइन शाफ्ट और ट्रांसमिशन शाफ्ट greater angles are permitted, or you can say torsional deflection or more in case of line shaft or transmission shaft, where T is the twisting moment or torque on the shaft. T क्या है? Torque or twisting moment. J is the polar moment of inertia of the cross sectional area about the axis of rotation. I'll give you the value of J, that is J is given as pi upon 32 d raised to 4, already explained in a previous video lecture series. J is the polar moment of inertia given as pi upon 32 d raised to 4. So in case of hollow shaft, this value is pi upon 32 d naught 4 minus di 4, where G is the modulus of rigidity for the shaft material and L is the length of the shaft. Clear? Each and every term is clear now. Now second one is lateral rigidity. It is important in case of transmission shaft and shafts running at high speed, where a small lateral deflection would cause huge out of balance forces. lateral deflection भी ज़्यादा नहीं होना चाहिए जब बहुत हाई स्पीड में शाफ्ट रोटेट कर रहा है. lateral rigidity is also important for maintaining proper bearing clearance and for correct gear teeth alignment. If the shaft is of uniform cross section, then the lateral deflection of a shaft may be obtained by using the deflection formula as in a strength of material. But when the shaft is of variable cross section, then it is given as lateral deflection may be determined from the fundamental equation for the elastic curve of a beam, that is d square y upon dx square is equal to m upon EI. This formula is used for finding lateral deflection. So I am finishing my topic here. So bye guys, thank you very much.